Hello everybody. In this short screencast I wanted to show you, if you're using Capstone, how to stick your error bars in your data sets. So I've created a bunch of error bars on this page here. You can see they're all different sizes and you can manipulate them how you want. And the trick is here to have your data in one column in a table, so you can display the table by, if we go over to here, you can either just double click on table or you can drag it out onto the screen like that, and it'll usually give you two columns like this. So I'm going to grab the graph as well and stick it in there, and obviously I'm just going to choose a quantity that I have. Yours will look different to this, but there's a trend line and some data, nice easy data to show. Let's show the data on here as well. So there's my data on here just by choosing that. And then if you want to show your trend lines, if you want to show your error bars on there, you need to actually input them as a column on the data table so that they can then show up on the graph. And if you don't see a column on here, you can go up to here and you can insert empty column to the right, so you can add as many columns as you want on there. But I'm actually going to take them away, so I only have two here. Now, for you, if you've got different errors for your pluses and minuses, then you'll need two extra columns on here. But generally speaking, the plus and minus is exactly the same because you've got the range divided by 2. So here's my data set in the Y, and I want to enter my user entered data here. So it's just a simple case of, once you've worked out your uncertainties, and you can do this in Excel or whatever it is you want to do, you can just start entering some data here. So let's say this one happens to be, I don't know, 0.5 times 10 to the negative 6. Oh, by the way, this E negative 6 here means times 10 to the negative 6. So I'm going to put in one set of data, 0.5 E to the negative 6, like that, press return, and it'll auto format it for you like this. It's changed it to E to the negative 8. So because that's in base 10, all right? And you can keep on doing that all the way down. Once you are ready to show that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this column and I'll pull up my bunch of data that was on here. So we're going to get rid of that one here by removing it. And I've created one here called errors. And you can change the name of it by clicking on here and clicking on rename. When you're setting it up for the first time, you click in there and then you can rename it from there. All right, you might want to stick in your units here, which is going to be Tesla again because it's the same. Well, yours is going to be different, obviously. It might be newtons or forces or whatever. So I've got my bunch of errors in here, my uncertainties in here, and that's going to go in my Y direction. So in order to put them on the graph, we go up to the settings panel here, the setting or the properties gear icon here, and we need to go to active data appearance. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll see some options here for show vertical error bars or show horizontal error bars. Really, you shouldn't have horizontal error bars because the uncertainty of that should be in the title of the x-axis anyway, plus or minus, whatever it happens to be, because the independent variable that you're doing will have a consistent error, so you stick it down there. But if you want to show different values for vertical error, then we tap on that button there, and it automatically generates a default error for you. Now, these aren't right because your errors are going to be different depending on your trials. So what we want to do, instead of default error, we're going to click on here, and then we're going to go down to measurement, okay? And it says measurement for errors values above, and these two will be the same because above and below will be the same for you. And then we need to select that measurement. Now remember, we put that measurement in this column here, so we just need to select it from there, and it'll auto select it from the other one as well. You can change that. You can change it to something else if you have two of them, but that's basically it. Once you define that and click OK, you can see the errors show up on here, and they're all different depending on what values you put in. So for this one here at 3, okay, so that's user index 3. Scroll across, that's 4 times 10 to the negative 7. So that's a fairly big one. But at number 5, which is this one here, we put in 2 times 10 to the negative 7, so it's really small. And number 6 is really small again, 1 times 10 to the negative 7. So we've got different error bars for depending on what values we put in. So I hope you find that useful.